Off the coast of Spain, a World War II rescue boat has been turned into a floating condo. But can it handle another dangerous mission?
People trying to escape a forest fire that had surrounded the beach. The only way for them to escape was into the sea.
Our odyssey to uncover unusual digs around the world washes up on the shores of Spain. Barcelona is a Mediterranean port known more for mega yachts than houseboats. But this two-bedroom, one-bath sport cruiser is more than just a bachelor pad.
Currently, we're standing here on the deck of Adelheid. She was used as a rescue vessel in the Second World War for the RAF to rescue the pilots shot down in the sea. She served in the Mediterranean. It's kind of like a floating ambulance, I suppose.
The boat was launched in 1939 and has an impressive war record. But she was never meant to be cruising as a senior.
I've lived on Adelheid for 6 years. When it was commissioned, the boat was only expected to last for 10 years, but here we are standing on it 80 years later.
The 68-foot vessel was cutting edge in its day, a fine example of the original planing hulls designed for maximum speed.
The boat would have been used to get to the shot-down airmen as quickly as possible before they died from exposure to the elements. It was used as a high-speed launch, and as an ambulance, it would have had a hospital section to the boat to treat any injured airmen that they might have picked up.
Because of the scarcity of metal during the war, the Adelheid was built with an innovative wooden plank hull that allowed damage to be fixed quickly and without replacing large sections.
The planking of the boat is made of mahogany. It's double diagonal, so one plank goes one direction, the other. Because the vessel would be under fire from the Nazi gunmen, it had to be able to replace and repair these boats quite easily.
When Chris bought her, the Adelheid was in bad shape. It took months of restoration to get the boat back on the water. Below deck, you'll find Chris's bedroom in the bow, a guest room in the stern, and a galley with a lounge and dining table. This deck also holds a rather historic head.
This is the bathroom on board Adelheid. Previously, it was the medical room for treating the pilots who had been shot down.
Above deck houses 2 outdoor lounge areas, a living room, and the pilot house, although some of the instruments have outlived their usefulness.
This here is a device for finding your location before the days of GPS. You can work out your position on a chart. Now it just serves to kind of give you a concussion in a storm.
The back deck is home to the engine room that used to house 3 fighter plane engines to attain top speed. Now the Adelheid runs on 2 Detroit diesels, but that wasn't always the case.
When I bought the boat in Gibraltar, it hadn't left the marina in 20 years, so we took it on its maiden voyage. One of the engines blew up. The oil was coming out the exhaust, and I didn't know anything about engines when I bought the boat, but of course I had to learn, because without them you're not going to get very far.
Getting the Adelheid back to a seaworthy state was useful to make it a movable home, but it ended up serving another purpose.
During my last summer in Ibiza, Adelheid was again used as a rescue boat to take the people trying to escape a forest fire that had surrounded the beach. The only way for them to escape was into the sea, and in the end I had about 80 people on the deck on Adelheid.
Living on any ship certainly has its challenges, and living on an 80-year-old warboat sometimes feels like a losing battle.
There's always something to be repaired. The sea is always eating something away.
But Chris loves living the sailor's life for all the benefits that you just can't get being tied down to terra firma.
What I like best about living on a boat is that you don't have any neighbors, and that you can kind of do your own thing. If you're unhappy with where you are in a location, you can move to a new place. Also, I love you can just jump into the sea in the morning.